Hey guys, so this is going to be a different kind of video because I'm talking about something that I know nothing about, and that is zero waste. A couple of months ago, about 6 months ago, my family drastically changed our diet due to some problems that I was having. I had a weight loss surgery. I ended up with a feeding tube, and then I had to kind of find a new way to eat, and I was having a lot of problems with animal products, so we cut them out and we transformed our whole house to a plant-based diet, and we all feel so much better. But something that kind of as an afterthought, just being in the vegan community and trying to gather recipes and knowledge, I kind of got a little more than I bargained for. So what I've discovered is that we really sort of accidentally made an impact, in our waste and how wasteful we are as a family, and our footprint, I guess, and how much we're impacting the earth by cutting down on how many animal products we were eating. And in the vegan community, a lot of people are vegan for environmental reasons, which was something that I knew a little bit about, but not enough. So what was the first thing that what I discovered was that people say it's actually really easy to change a lot of these things. And if we already did basically the hardest part, which a lot of people consider giving up animal products in their lives and diet is the hardest part, we could probably do the rest. So what was the first thing that I did?
As a life after we've done using it, and just, for instance, saying, hey, did you know that bubblegum contains 20% plastic? Oh, really? This is what this influencers about zero waste swaps. Like, okay, we get it. I need to be using a reusable water bottle, but like, what else can I do? I'm here to tell you what other things there are out there other than just the typical zero waste swaps that you've heard over and over and over again. And I'm actually really getting like slightly not over zero waste content, but because the thing is, every time I make a video about zero waste swaps, it brings in new people that have never learned about it before. And so that's what
I gathered knowledge. I specifically watched YouTubers who are already on this mission to have low impact. And I know the term zero waste is really popular, but I've actually discovered through a lot of this education that kind of is impossible and it's an unattainable thing. So I learned and I learned and learned, and I didn't do anything until I felt like I understood it. I feel like one of the biggest problems nowadays is people read one article and they assume that because they kind of made this discovery that, oh my God, my way of thinking was wrong about this one thing, that they can just change instantly like that and change their perspective. And that's actually really hard. So what I needed to do was find out how much damage am I actually doing? I may not even know all of the things that I need to change in my house. So I started going one by one through the topics that they were talking about. What do I need to do in my household? As a family, I need to feed my family. I need supplies to be able to do that. I need to clothe my family. I need to be able to clean our house, the space that we live in. So the list goes on and on, but you need to basically take an assessment or a personal inventory of what do I need to get done in my life, and what impact does each of these little areas, what impact do they have individually? So that was hard. There's a lot of things that are out of your control. For example, I tried to gather more information about a delivery service for some of my prescriptions because I am bipolar. I do take medications monthly, and there was not a way to get that to me with less impact. So if I had the pills shipped, it's going to be additional transport, I'm driving to the pharmacy to go pick up a prescription, but having them shipped, it just seemed like it was going to be more. Having another parcel, the transportation costs, the fuel burned, all of that stuff was I took all of that into account. So, there are aspects of your life where it's out of your control. For instance, one of the YouTubers that I watch has a compost delivery, or pickup rather, so she's able to just keep her compost in the fridge and then have it picked up. We don't have anything like that on our military base, and we actually are not able to compost in our own yards just per their rules. So there are some things that are going to be out of your control. Now, I did find an alternative to be able to just indoor compost on a small scale, with actually some education that I got from another video, and I'm going to put some links below to all of the people that helped me figure out how to even get started. So I looked around my house and I figured out what is going to need to be replaced soon. And some of the conversations my husband and I had were, we actually have a Libman brush that we use to scrub dishes and stuff like that. And that is actually made out of plastic, which plastic is, as much as we say that, recycle, it's just not recyclable. It's going to end up in a landfill and it's never going to break down. And we truly don't even know how long it's going to take to break down. So I found a compostable alternative to that brush. So now, and it doesn't need to be replaced yet. These are just things that, I was taking an inventory around and seeing what is going to be a low impact solution the next time I need to replace this. And I feel like that's the approach everyone should take, because going around your house and just throwing everything out of shame is more wasteful than anything. So our shampoo is actually something that, the first thing that we did. We needed new shampoo, and we're used to buying it just in bottles. And I had not found an alternative that was, that I follow the curly girl method. Normally my hair's straight today, but normally I don't use sulfates, parabens, any of that stuff. So, we needed to find an alternative to that. And we actually both found a bar, my husband and I both, to be able to use for our shampoos. And it should last for 150 washes. So it was actually $7 for his and $8.50 for mine. And that's so much less than what we would spend on shampoo in 3 months. So in that instance, it's actually cheaper. So I don't know why I thought it was like this unattainable thing, but turns out it's just as easy as making a decision to change. Okay, so yeah, some of the other things that I was thinking about that we're doing now. So we have stopped using paper towels. We use rags for pretty much everything, and we do repurpose, old t-shirts or whatever if we can't gift them or give things away. And that was another thing that I wanted to bring up as well. Gifting your clothes has much more impact than going to Goodwill. I actually used to be a manager of a Goodwill, and the amount of stuff that we throw out is alarming. So yeah, if you can gift stuff, I know that it's very easy for us in our military community. My boys take good care of their clothes. We take good care of their clothes, so we're able to just sort of pass them down. And I'll post and say, is there anyone with a size, 8 in boys that needs, a summer outfit, summer wardrobe. So capsule wardrobes was something that really helped me reduce our waste as well. And it was something that I was already doing, so I didn't know that it was tied to this in any way. But my sons and myself, our wardrobes, we've got about 5 tops and 5 bottoms, and we do rotate them out. I've got some stuff, in storage bags or whatever, but this means that I'm not doing laundry, like massive amounts of laundry. I'm just doing those, regular outfits that we're wearing. And like I said, I do switch them in and out, so we're not always in the same clothes, but capsule wardrobes definitely were a huge, huge help. Thinking about where our food comes from was one that was a huge thing. So we live in Washington. We live in the Pacific Northwest. There are a ton of farms around us. So something that we are able to do is start buying from farms. And this is the part of it that I have absolutely loved. So we buy it without packaging at all, and we buy in bulk. So it's actually a funny story, but I got 50 pounds of potatoes, not really considering how much potatoes 50 pounds was. So that was an interesting thing. and finding out how to store and, you know, can stuff as well, buying stuff when it's in season, so it doesn't have to be transported anywhere, and local. There's tons of farmers markets around here, but again, like I said, this is something that if that's out of your control, you don't control whether you have a farmer's market near you. You may only have a Walmart and have to use, you know, that service. We also do get imperfect produce. We've backed off a little bit from getting imperfect produce because we can get cheaper stuff from our food co-op. So I would suggest looking around you to see if there is a food co-op, any sort of, you know, local farmers network that you can contact and maybe buy things in bulk as a group. I'm trying to think of what else we have really done. Well, anyway, what I wanted to say was those are the first few things that we've done. If I can think of anything else, maybe I'll film it. But yeah, it's been an experience just realizing every single thing that we're doing. Really taking into account, do I need to do this? Regrowing food. We've actually stopped getting rid of our kitchen scraps like celery and stuff like that, and we've just grown it into plants, and I just put it outside in the yard, and we're growing our own food. Green onions are something that can regenerate forever. And I know I've seen all this stuff before, but I didn't know the impact of putting it all together and making it a lifestyle. So I don't think that, you know, zero waste is attainable. I think you're still going to have some sort of impact. And I think that neuroticness of, you know, trying to get to perfection is what keeps a lot of us from doing it. But hell, this is way more than I was doing a month ago. So yeah, I wanted to wait to make a video until I really kind of knew what I wanted to talk about. But if you are nervous at all about switching to some of these things, it's super easy, and you don't have to go out and buy anything, because a lot of things that are marketed to us, you've already got a solution for. You know, I mean, I have metal straws and stuff like that, but honestly, you have a mouth. Anywhere you go, you've got your mouth with you. So it's, you know, it's surefire that you've got a way to get a drink into your mouth. Travel cutlery, you already have silverware. There are things that you really just don't need to go out and purchase. And that mindset of thinking, okay, I'm going to convert to this sort of life. What do I need to buy? That's that consumerism that you just want to push away. And minimalism has really helped me with that. It's why we got into doing a capsule wardrobe. I need a very minimal space with not a lot around me, just things that bring me joy. And it's really been amazing. It's really been amazing. Oh, and another cool thing that I found was a retractable clothesline. So you may want to do this just because you want to lower your electric bill, in all honesty, but a retractable clothesline is going to be super helpful, because if you've got a space that you can't have like a clothes rack up all the time, it's just this little circle on the wall and it pulls out. And I'll show you guys some of these things maybe in another video when I feel like walking around. But right now I just wanted to chat about just getting started if you're scared. And I do suggest that you go and watch, oh, I can't say her name. Gittemary? I'll link her down below. And Shelbi. They helped me so much just to get started, because it can be a daunting thing, and thinking it has to be perfect is the worst thing in the world. And kind of what they've shown me is just get started and do what you can with what you have. And that's what I'm trying to do. So when I decided we needed a proofing box because I was going to start baking bread, my husband repurposed wood we had in our garage already and made me one. And is it the prettiest thing in the entire world? Yes, yes it is. We used paint we already had from another project of repairing a door. And we just saved a lot of money too, and the shipping costs, because honestly, a proofing box like this would have been about $200. So there you go. We needed new glasses anyway, and I don't really see a whole lot of purpose in going out and buying like a set of brand new mason jars, just because the aesthetic Instagram thing, I think, is what invalidates a lot of this movement. So like this jar is super cute. It has the ounces on it, and this is just from pasta sauce and more pasta sauce. And some of them have really pretty rims. And we ended up with, just in a few months of doing this, of saving them, to have a whole, set. And then we still have the drinking glasses we were using before, and we were down to 3 of those and 1 tall glass. Oh wow, that's dusty. Our fridge has been another place where we've tried to really change the way we're doing things. So we started buying things in season and just canning them. This is some sauerkraut, some pickled onions, actual regular pickles just from cucumbers. And with the cucumbers, we did save the seeds and start those, and they're growing outside. Oh, one more thing, my hair products. So I already use flax seeds as an egg replacement, so I'm already buying that. And I made my own hair gel. So that's another thing that's not needing to be packaged, not needing to be shipped or drive to go pick it up. And we have some kimchi. Here's one more thing that we started doing is our banana water. So we're reusing our peels, and we can put them in the compost after. And then you could work for HSN. And then we're not having to buy fertilizer. We can use it for our plants. So this is definitely repurposing something. And what used to be in that jar?
This was pickles.
Pickles. So all in all, we're not doing anything perfectly, and we've not gone to an immediate zero waste household, but our interest in this is because we're actually going to start our own homestead. And we kind of thought, there's not going to be a garbage truck coming and picking up garbage. It's something that we're going to have to deal with ourselves. And how can we get down to really reusing, repurposing, recycling, or composting every single thing we use so that we don't need a garbage pail where we are next. So we're actually moving from Seattle to North Carolina, and we're just trying to see how we can give back to the earth and make an impact and stop some of these harmful habits that we were doing. But like I said, you've really got to take stock in learning what your actual impact is, learning what habits are harmful, because I didn't even know everything that we were doing wrong, and I still don't. We have so much farther to go, but these little steps in the beginning are making us really conscious of what we're doing. So not going out and buying anything new just to start this. We didn't go buy a compost bin or whatever, because I had a container from some strawberries that I bought that you can actually just keep in the fridge. So we're not doing this in an aesthetic and pretty way, but we're trying to do it as authentically as we can. So I really, thank you to the YouTubers who do put out this knowledge so that people can see that it's really easy and attainable. And that's what I'm just trying to prove, that, if you follow their guidance and their education, you can really change your life.